We have to wonder, the same man who presided over our country for 10 long years, is it, Mr. Speaker, when he will get up and talk now about how the Belizean economy is in crisis? He is the one now who is telling us that the Belizean economy is in crisis. When, Mr. Speaker, all Belizeans remember, in fact, when it was factual knowledge that the Belizean economy was in crisis, and he said those very infamous words, and who said the government broke? Want to remember? Who said the government broke? Then he has the audacity as well, Mr. Speaker, to talk about taxes. He was the one who said the taxes were performing at that time as well. He went on at great lengths, Mr. Speaker, to point out the areas where he believes the government is not doing well in terms of the economy. Well, yes, it is true that it is a struggle for us to fix the economy of this country. But, Mr. Speaker, the reason why that is the case is because of the burdens left on us by the People's United Party administration. There is no getting around that. I listened as well as the leader of the opposition went on and on and on and on about the excuses that this side of the House can find, Mr. Speaker, but it is all true. The Superbond burden is a serious burden that cannot be overlooked. It cannot be escaped. Mr. Speaker, he spoke about crime, and he asked us, Mr. Speaker, to remember that there are other causes of crime. There are root causes of crime. And I was a bit confused because he started, first he condemned the government for cutting areas of the police. And I don't know whether that is true or not. But in the next breath, he said that policing isn't everything, and that we must have focused on the root causes of crime, at which point the Prime Minister stopped him because he was going off on a tangent. But one of the areas he did insist on bringing up, Mr. Speaker, was, of course, the fact that there was the absence of a quality education system in this country. And when he touched on that issue, Mr. Speaker, he touched on a wrong issue in my book. And so, Mr. Speaker, when we are presented with a budget like the one that the Right Honorable Prime Minister is presenting today, Mr. Speaker, it is one that encourages these kinds of development that will see a quality education system. And if you allow me, Mr. Speaker, I will speak on that because that is really the meat of this, a quarter of the national budget, or in excess of a quarter of the national budget of this country is being spent on education. And Mr. Speaker, I want to ask those on the other side, I make the appeal to them as I've done before privately and I do it now publicly. Help us to fix the quality of education rather than playing the fool, acting the fool. Help us to fix these problems because it is a necessary element of development for this country. Help us. Are you with us or are you against us? I was terribly dismayed, Mr. Speaker, when I listened, and the biggest thing